Welcome back. Today is September 25th, 2024. Earlier today, I stopped at a pilot truck stop at Brazelton, Georgia. I wanted to go in and get a shower to shave. I don't like having the scraggly beard myself, so I stopped to get a shower. I ran in and came back out, had some lunch. I needed to get some fuel. I pulled around to the fuel pump, and of course, it's a pilot, so it was backed up. I was getting irritated. We find ourselves, as truck drivers, getting so irritated and frustrated at minor setbacks and stuff that slows us down during the day. We're constantly fighting that e-log, trying to satisfy the powers that be that knows more than us, telling us how to be safe. I was getting really frustrated at it, and guys at the fuel island wasn't getting fuel. They were taking their 30-minute break there, whatever, as normal. And I thought to myself, I've got to get my mind off of this because I'm getting really frustrated. I can feel my temperature and blood pressure coming up, and I got to think about something else. I pulled my phone up to look at some notifications and stuff, and I saw this article on CDL Live that said Dave McMillan had passed away. You know, there's a few people that stand out to me, a few family members. I've talked about them many times on this channel. One is my brother in law. He was a truck driver, he was also a Vietnam veteran. He was tried and true, as they say, mouthy truck driver. Um, First time I'd been in a truck was with him, and he was rough and gruff. He was old school. He was a tough hombre, as they would say. He passed away a few years later, and I really missed him. You know, he was definitely unique. My father and we never really got along. We were like oil and water, as they say. We rubbed each other the wrong way. Even though that was the case, I still had a lot of respect for my father for what he was. Um, a Korean War veteran. He was quite a bit older than me. He came from a different era. He was rough and gruff, and even my grandfather on my mom's side, he fought in World War II. He he wasn't tough though. He might have been tough at a younger age, but in his older age, he was more settled and somber. And he would want to read the Bible a lot. He would want to read the Bible to me. So, those are a few guys that stood out. They were all truck drivers. My grandfather drove a truck in the war. He didn't drive a truck in civilian life, but he drove a truck in the war. And each one of those guys, I got inspiration from one way or another. When I started doing research for YouTube, wanting to be a YouTuber, I didn't know if I would get 1 view, 1,000 views, 100,000 views. I didn't know how people would take to me. I didn't know. My inspiration to become a YouTuber was I wanted to share my family that had passed away, these guys that I spoke of, my experiences being out on the road for so many years. And when I started looking at people on YouTube, Dave McMillan stood out. He stood out to me. He was different. He didn't act like the type that was here for fame and fortune and money and likes and all of that. He just seemed like he was honest, direct, straightforward, a man that spoke his mind. One of the videos that I watched of his, he supposedly got this letter or an email from some company, or maybe a trucking company, or some person. I can't remember what it was now, but they were asking him to take the video down or to apologize, maybe renege on what he had said. And he just come back full force and said, I'm reading this letter and I'm telling you what these people said, and I'm not taking it down, and I'm not backtracking, and I do not apologize. I like people with that spirit. I like the people that, ruffle feathers, especially when it's true. Now, there's people that do it just out of meanness and being ornery, but when you're doing it to prove a point, and it's an honest point, and you still stand your ground, that means something. Dave McMillan, to me, was not just a YouTuber. He wasn't just a guy that was on camera entertaining, saying what he thought and barking out directives and spewing his thoughts and stuff. To me, he was the real deal. Whenever I was thinking about doing YouTube, I mentioned this on the channel before. I researched it probably 3 or 4 months, I'd been a fan of YouTube itself forever, ever since I can remember, basically. But when I actually thought about doing YouTube, I researched it 3 or 4 months. I made the Trucking and Politics channel. I went through everything that you need to do to set the channel up, but I never made a video. I just sat there and I was thinking about it and how to do everything. And I found myself going back and watching Dave's videos. He was a mentor, and what a lot of people say about YouTubers are they're influencers, right? They get you to think like they want you to think, I guess. But Dave was my influencer. He would at times feel like he was at times it really felt like he was talking directly to me. I was hearing him, and I don't mean just, words and through my ears. I actually heard his message. To me, there's not too many people that really stand out, that really push like that. A lot of people, I've said it on this channel before, they're fake channels. Come do this lease purchase, and it's always the same company, and it's just a big long ad, and that's all the person's YouTube channel is come work for this company. Is their lease purchase the greatest that there is? And then they get all hyped up and everything, and yes, it's the greatest lease purchase that there is. And you come over here and you tell them that I sent you here, and this is the greatest thing that you'll ever do. People like that to me are fake. I don't like them. I don't like what they stand for. It's just a great big long ad. They're paid spokespersons for the trucking company, and it's obviously clear what they're doing. I mean, every single video down there is the same person with the same truck, and it's the same message, and call recruiting and tell them my name. I never got any of that from Dave McMillan. I never got that. If anything, he was a spokesperson for Peterbilt because he loved his Peterbilts so much. They were the ones that were in the video with him, not logo on the truck, not some kind of trucking company name or something. It was his face with his arms crossed and the big Peterbilt emblem right there beside of his head. And when he spoke directly, and he spoke what he wanted to say, how he wanted to say it. He didn't mince his words. And you've got to give people like Dave the respect they deserve. Like I said, he was right up there at the top as an influencer for me, for this channel. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to get people together. I wanted to get truck drivers together. I wanted to motivate truck drivers. I wanted to let them know that it does not have to be the way that it is. it can be the way that we want it to be. Strength in numbers. Go back to some of my previous videos and it was just unity, unity, unity. That's all I was preaching and harping about, was get us together, form a group, have one voice. Strength in numbers will overcome anything. To me, the reason Dave was so popular was not a strength in numbers thing, it was a strength within himself. And I envy that. Because I don't know if I could ever come to that, what Dave was. But I would like to try. I would like to get up the ladder and see how far I can go. Dave was not just a good, honest, respectful person. He was my influencer. He was one of the reasons, one of the top reasons I'm here. I'm not here for the money. I'm not here for the fame. I'm not here for a pat on the back and you're doing a good job, even though I appreciate all those good comments that I get all the time. It's not why I'm here. It is not why I'm here. I am here for us, the American truck driver. I don't like the way the trucking industry is going. I don't like the path that it's been going down for the last 25 or 30 years. I have sat and watched this industry rot. Literally rot away. When I started driving a truck in 2000, I came in with the influence of my grandfather, my father, my brother-in-law, those old grumpy road warriors that wouldn't back down, that wouldn't shy away from the fight. They were loud and they were bold. I got a whole new inspiration when I thought about coming to YouTube. Those guys had already passed away. I got a whole new inspiration coming to YouTube because of Dave McMillan and Smart Trucking. I heard those old voices echoing through his voice. We lost a lot. I have lost a lot. I don't know if I can follow. I don't know if I can fill their shoes. I don't know if I can carry the torch. I don't know. Big shoes to fill. I promise you of that. All I can say is I can try. And try, I will. Anyway, this video is not about me, about what I'm wanting to accomplish. This video is about remembering Dave, what he stood for, and how he was an inspiration to me. Much like the other people in my family that I've notated here. Hopefully they'll keep his YouTube channel up. Hopefully we can all still be friends and fans of Dave, even though he's not here. He left his legacy to carry on in recordings and inspirational videos. If you're not familiar with Dave, if you're living under a rock somewhere and you haven't heard from him or heard of him, you have to go check out his channel, and you have to go back and watch his videos. He was a trucker for sure. I was thinking about a way to end this, and I was thinking of a way to give him the deserve, that the justness that he deserves. And I was thumbing through some inspirational quotes and everything, and this came up, and I think it's very fitting. It is a Bible verse. It is Psalm 112, verse 5 and 6. Good will come to him who is generous and lends freely, who conducts his affairs with justice. Surely he will never be shaken. A righteous man will be remembered forever. Absolutely. Dave was not just another trucker. He was not just an inspiration for me. He was a voice for us all. And he will be greatly missed. You all think of Dave's family in your prayers. And we will be back with more trucking and politics soon to come. Have a good day.